No, don't. Do not stare at me, because I'm dark. The sun has darkened my skin.
There is great treasure in darkness. And you, my darling, are dark and lovely. You are altogether beautiful. Yes, you are beautiful in every way. You are flawless.
When I conquer Turnion, these cursed basins will be the first things I destroy, vowed Whydah to herself. The golden basins are not the cause of your discomfort, explained Hannan-nim. It is the incense. Whydah shuddered at the control and depth of Hannan-nim's voice, calm yet commanding. His words reverberated beyond just the throne room, but throughout the grand expanse of the third heaven. Every majestic syllable blended in perfect harmony with the silvery tenors of rushing crystal waters streaming from his throne. It was the river of life, and its sparkling waters flowed throughout all of Turnion. The stench of the incense disoriented her thoughts so much she had forgotten that Hannan-nim wielded a power no other ruler in all the realms possessed, power to perceive all thoughts and intentions of the heart. In your former station, you never learned what became of the prayers beyond the port of Ursin, did you? No, Most High. I understood the prayers were nothing more than idle chatter, polluting the heavenlies, Whydah replied sheepishly. Your obsession with beauty and power elevated you from angel to ruler over all Grimacy, and yet with all your ill-gotten knowledge and dark wisdom, your heart still cannot comprehend what your eyes and ears reveal. The prayers of the image bearers are not noisome debris polluting the heavenlies. After Tayo receives the frequencies, the dispatcher angels methodically process the prayers for Tayo to make the final transport into Turnion. When she arrives to the throne room, she carefully arranges the golden basins on the altar for Hannan-nim and then fills each basin with the prayers. Hannan-nim then lights the altar with fire, and as the fire warms the basins, filled with the prayers of the image bearers, the most fragrant incense is released as an extraordinary offering to us, explained Hannan-nim. They are prayers of praise and thanksgiving, humble requests for provision and protection and guidance, desperate appeals for mercy and forgiveness, explained Yesu-nim. Through their prayers, the sick are made well, the poor are provided for, the weak are protected, and miracles flow just as freely as the river of life. The prayers of the image bearers unlock their blessings and set in course their Turnion destiny. Do you see now, Farron, that you were never a rubbish collector? Farron, hearing Yesu-nim call her the name he'd given her so long ago, awakened regret all over again. The rogue rebellion was masterfully planned and carried out with perfection, but the rebel angels did not account for the high cost of betraying Hannan-nim. He was more than the sovereign ruler of all realms. He was their creator, and his love was the only source for their very existence. And although the rebel angels successfully conquered the second heaven, they did not prepare for the shocking aftermath that followed the abrupt separation from his love. Forced to supply their own power source to survive, the rebel angels succumbed to immoral devices and turned the second heaven, formerly a glorious extension of beautiful Turnion, into a sulphurous hotbed of treachery. Farron, once a low-stationed angel, is a wisp of a memory. She is now Whydah, ruler of Gremasy, and the most feared satrapine of the second heaven. Tell me, how long did it take you to recover from the last summons? Asked Hannan-nim. Each time she returned to the second heaven after a summons, Whydah was so feeble and ugly, she drew herself away in seclusion for hours until the fullness of her sorcery and beauty returned. But after the last summons, her powers took much longer to replenish. If anyone in Gremasy discovered her weakness, she would be challenged as satrapine. She resented Hannan-nim for knowing her secret. One whole moon cycle before my powers returned, Hannan-nim, bright and morning star, answered Whydah, trying to mask the bitterness in her voice. There were moments when the clouds of incense thinned. Whydah could dimly make out flashes of the throne room's splendor. Once she saw lyres and trumpets releasing lively melodies flitting throughout the air like wispy butterflies. During another summons, Whydah saw fiery, six-winged seraphims encircling the throne as they praised the Most High with reverberating cries of "Holy, holy, holy." The seraphims made no other proclamation, just "Holy, holy, holy," over and over. This vexed Whydah immensely. Each "holy" proclaimed with such unrestrained love and adoration for Hannan-nim sickened her as much as the golden basins of incense. The shrill, piercing melodies, the fervent worship, it was all raucous clamor, grating her ears. But oh, the throne, the sapphire throne, the emerald rainbow surrounding the sapphire throne. Whydah was momentarily distracted from her sufferings as she envisioned herself seated upon the sapphire throne, the deep blue brilliance illuminating her beauty even more. However, there was nothing in the throne room, nothing in all the realms combined, in all creation put together, that was more breathtaking than Hannan-nim the Most High. Whydah knew better than to gaze upon him directly. His glory would be too much to take in, and she would perish instantly. But during the last summons, Hannan-nim pushed back a thick cloud of incense smoke as if he was drawing back a veil. It was only a glimpse which lasted for a second, but a second was all it took for Whydah to be changed forever by what she beheld. There was no one who surpassed Hannan-nim in glory. Seated there upon the sapphire throne, the endless train of his majestic robes flowed boundlessly to the floor like a deep violet river. Ablaze with endless hues of red, yellow, and orange, his entire being, from his countenance to his feet, appeared as the finest Jasper and Carnelian gemstones ever created. When soft rays of light streamed through diamond-shaped facets of the sapphire throne, it was as if Hannan-nim was seated upon the most glorious prism. Fractal beams of warm brown light burst forth intricate patterns as the pristine blueness of the throne blended with Hannan-nim's bright shades of yellow and orange. Every now and then his fiery redness would catch hold of verdant specks of glitter embedded within the emerald rainbow. This wonderful fusion sparked an awesome explosion of decadent dark chocolate ribbon streams of light over his throne. Whydah was mesmerized. She was overwhelmed by the beautiful spectrum of colors radiating through him. Hannan-nim was the most spectacular vision she had ever beheld. Her heart throbbed with a painful yearning to possess his unmatched beauty. But all she could do in that moment, when Hannan-nim revealed himself to her, was join the seraphims and declare, "Holy, holy, holy," as tears trickled down her haggard face. Hannan-nim, Lord of all realms, was flawless, and the only one perfectly equal in glory was his beloved son, Hannan-nim. The glimpse of their perfection was seared into her mind, taunting her every moment thereafter. Whydah wept bitterly day after day and loathed Hannan-nim and Hannan-nim for possessing such beauty only for themselves. Anyone or anything reflecting Hannan-nim's magnificent spectrum of colors provoked within Whydah frenzied rage. It was for this very cause that she sought to destroy certain image bearers of the earthen realm who dwelled in the kingdom of balsam.